Hey there folks, I'm pop culture historian Dave Sundstrom, and today I'm talking about something really interesting from the classic television show Lost in Space. Now, if you've never seen Lost in Space, it was a sci-fi series from the 1960s about a family that was stranded in space, trying to survive and find their way home. I first discovered the program when reruns played during the afternoon during the 70s. The show had robots, aliens, and lots of crazy adventures, and I would race home from school so that I could watch it every single day. Of course, back then I knew nothing about the behind-the-scenes drama taking place with one of its stars, Guy Williams. You see, Guy played the dad of the family, John Robinson. And long before Lost in Space, he was already a big deal. He was famous for playing Zorro, and people loved him for it. He had the looks, the talent, and the charm to be the main guy in any TV show. But when he joined Lost in Space, things didn't go the way that he'd expected. Bill Mumy, who played Will Robinson on the show, has talked a few times about how he felt bad for Guy because when all was said and done, he kinda got a raw deal because he really didn't get much to do on the show. Even though Guy was a big star with lots of experience, he mostly ended up playing the serious, straight-laced dad, while Jonathan Harris, who played Dr. Smith, got all of the wild and crazy moments. Lost in Space started out as a pretty serious science fiction show, but over time, it just got more and more silly and over the top. This shift towards campiness meant that Dr. Smith, along with Will Robinson, and believe it or not, the robot, well, they really became the stars of the show. That darn Dr. Smith was always causing trouble, whining, making jokes, and quite frankly, the audience loved it. But that also meant that characters like Guy's John Robinson and June Lockhart's Maureen Robinson, they got pushed to the sidelines. They were often left reacting to Dr. Smith's antics instead of driving the storylines themselves. Here's Guy Williams, a guy who used to be the main hero in Zorro, now playing second fiddle to a character who was really supposed to be a one-time bad guy. Even though Lost in Space became a hit, you have to wonder if Guy felt like he wasn't getting the chance to shine. Now, with all that said, Guy did not let it show. He stayed professional, and he did his job well. He brought a sense of strength and calm to John Robinson, and that was important for the show. After Lost in Space ended and his career began to wind down, Guy did something pretty darn cool. He ended up moving to Argentina, where the people still loved him for playing Zorro. He was so popular there, in fact, that the government even gave him an apartment. It's pretty amazing to think about how much people loved him, even years after he played Zorro. Sadly, Guy's story ended in a way that feels almost as quiet as his time on Lost in Space. According to Wikipedia, in 1989, after spending many solitary months in Argentina, it was reported that Guy had disappeared. When the police searched his apartment, they found his body. An autopsy revealed that he had died a week earlier from a ruptured brain aneurysm. Guy's official date of death was April 30th, 1989. He was just 65 years old at the time of his passing. Because of his immense popularity in Argentina, his ashes were placed at the Argentine Actors Society Cemetery in La Chacarita Cemetery for 2 years. And then in 1991, his ashes were spread over the Pacific Ocean in Malibu, California. According to his wishes, it was a quiet but very fitting end for a man who brought so much joy to fans around the world, even if Hollywood didn't always give him the spotlight that he deserved. One more interesting thing about Guy is that there was another time after Zorro, but before Lost in Space, when things did not go as expected and he got a bit of a raw deal. Way back in 1964, Guy was added to the cast of the hit television series Bonanza as Ben's nephew, Will Cartwright. At first it seemed like a great opportunity. His character had been created to replace Adam Cartwright since Pernell Roberts, who played Adam, had said that he was planning to leave the show. The idea was to keep the show's format with 4 main leads. But fans weren't ready to say goodbye to any of the original Cartwrights. They wrote letters to the show, and Pernell, well, he ended up sticking around for another season. As a result, Guy's character was written off the show after just 5 episodes, even though he was supposed to become a permanent lead. So what do you think? Did Guy Williams get a raw deal not only on Lost in Space but on Bonanza as well? Should his character have done more? Or was the balance between John Robinson and Dr. Smith just right? Let me know what you think in the comment section of this video, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and go ahead, ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any more stories like this. I talk about music, movies, and mostly TV from decades gone by. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching. And now for something only semi-related.
Here's a new way to help keep you in shape for the space age. New Post Count-Off. Post Count-Off is made with nutritious oats. You can count on it. Post Count-Off is made in the shape of numbers. You can count on it. Post Count-Off has exciting space news on every package back. You can count on it. Start your day a little bit better with new Post Count-Off.
3, 2, 1.
You can count on it.
The trips are long. The training is hard, like this spacewalk practice. But the astronauts do some things you do. In space, they drank Tang. They mixed it like this in a zero-G pouch, because with no gravity, it would fly all over. You don't have that problem. You can mix it in a glass. Up there, they have to drink it carefully, this way. You can drink it any way you like. Tang tastes orangey, has lots of vitamins C and A. Tang, chosen for the Gemini astronauts. Have a blast. Have some Tang.
You didn't have to do it, but you did. So thank you very much for your support. Click on that thumbnail, cause it's time to go. Dave's got the classics, let the memories flow. TV shows and movies that we all hold so dear. On his YouTube channel, he's keeping memories near. Dave Sundstrom, bringing back the good stuff, oh yeah.